2020, the Norfolk County Commissioners to order. I'm going to read the executive order on remote participation. On Thursday, March 12, 2020, Governor Charles Baker issued an order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 20. That order was effective immediately until it is rescinded or the state of emergency is terminated. On Wednesday, June 16, 2021, by action of the legislature, the order was extended until April 1st, 2022. I'm going to ask everyone to stand and join me in saluting the flag before the meeting. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I'm now going to call the roll. Commissioner Stady.
Present.
Commissioner Shea is present. We have a quorum. Next item on the agenda is minutes of our last meeting, which was January 26, 2022. Open meeting ready for acceptance.
Mr. Chairman, I'll move the approval of the minutes for the open session of January 26th as presented.
And I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
It is a vote. Next is the minutes of the executive session meeting of January 26th for approval and to hold a release at this time.
All right, Mr. Chairman, I'll move also approval of the executive session meeting minutes of January 26th, 7 minutes to be held at this time.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next, number 6. 5 is public comment. Each week we have a public comment section of our meeting. Director Cronin, do you have any people that have reached out to you?
I do not.
You do not. Is there anyone here who wants to have public comment?
I would like to.
Payne, go ahead.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Commissioners.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for affording me the time to speak to you today. My name is Pamela O'Donnell. I'm a head clerk at the Registry of Deeds, and I've been one for 4 years. I'm here today, not just representing myself, but also fellow employees you see here with me today. During the pandemic, the registry remained open, never closing, due to the hard work and commitment of the registry employees. The registry workload was unprecedented. We handled many documents, more documents than ever, due to our hard work and diligence. The registry also brought in a substantial amount of money during this time. The reason I'm here today is pandemic pay. We respectfully asked if we could find a reason for what happened with Registrar O'Donnell's original request for the $2,000 per employee. Has this been tabled? Are the commission still working on that? Is this something we need to push forward? We feel as a collective that our hard work needs to be represented, and we feel that we deserve the pandemic pay. We respectfully ask that you reconsider O'Donnell's original request, Registrar O'Donnell's original request. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I guess my answer as chairman, and Commissioner Stay can weigh in any time, is number one, I anticipated some sort of request like this. As you know, that recently, as members of the Agricultural School Board, we voted for a pandemic pay issue with the teachers. Number two, I had talked to our labor council, and the teachers' request came to us through their bargaining unit of the Mass teachers, and they brought it forward. We have an agreement here with your bargaining unit, and we worked. They are your bargaining unit, and we need to hear from your bargaining unit. It's nice to hear from everyone, and it's nice to see people, and it's a valid request. But off the top of my head, the number of your local escapes me, but your AFSCME local number is
93.
93. Well, that's the whole AFSCME
council.
93. Yeah. I would. I don't want to tell you what to do, but our labor council has advised us in anticipation of requests, because there are other units in the same group as you in AFSCME, that all these kinds of requests need to come from your bargaining unit, from your group that represents you. I haven't heard from the third group yet, but I'm sure we're going to, that being the maintenance workers. And I don't know what else I can tell you. They are the bargaining agent for you folks, and you should go to them and say, exactly what you said to us, I think, but I don't want to put words in your mouth. Other than that, and I thought we discussed this way back when, and I did get it in writing. When the register was here before, that we have to go through the document. I can give you a copy of that one.
I think there was, if I may, Mr.
Yeah.
Chairman, if I recall it, Register O'Donnell was one of the first ones to put in for the pandemic pay. And when we evaluated it and discussed it, we looked at what would the implications be for other unions
Right.
and whether or not it'd be an issue of collective bargaining. But I concur with the chairman, and what he said is that we just recently reached agreement with the teachers bargaining unit of the Aggie school. So the door is open, if you know what I'm saying. And that might be the proper procedure now, is to contact and work through your union. And I suppose, and bring that, forward to the commissioners and move it from there. That might be the proper vehicle now.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, I will send it.
That-
Well, I think we got a letter from Michelle McNulty, who is our labor counsel, about it specifically. And it's short and sweet, and it says, this is a valid request for the estimate from the bargaining unit. At that time, it was, in her words, the register is the bargaining unit. But, I think it would say the same thing now, but I will dig it out and get it to you. Director Cronin.
I'd be happy, Commissioner Shea, to reach out to Michelle and revisit what occurred. It occurred before I got here, so pick up.
Is that a
where-
year old already?
Really?
What?
Well, I've been here 6 months.
Okay, I'm sorry.
But in any event, we can revisit that because the timing is interesting. To your point, Commissioner Stady, as folks behind me probably understand, their unit is beginning a collective bargaining process on an upcoming expiring contract. So we are approaching the table and we're involved in preliminary ground rule discussions. So now would be the time to bring it forward if it's of interest to the commission. So I'll talk to Michelle about where it left off, and I concur it as something that would be beneficial to have in the collective bargaining space.
I do want to commend the registry workers for your effort. It's duly noted. It's not something we're not blind to. I know myself as a zoning attorney, I had to go over there a few times and deliver things through the door and leave it outside and all the protocols you did. You did a great job. We appreciate your effort. Trust me, we do. And all our workers, our maintenance people, all the people, we're all so proud of them during the COVID year when it was at the height. We truly appreciate what you did. But I think on this particular issue, you're best served now going through the proper vehicle of collective bargaining and then bringing it back, and then we can hopefully get something done. Sounds fair, I think. That's only fair. That's all. We want to be fair. Fair enough.
Okay.
Anybody else have any questions? You all came over just for that? Well, it's good to see you all. Hope we didn't ruin all your lunch hour.
I didn't know it had to be bargained through the union. I thought.
I didn't realize that.
The reason why.
Something that
was
Absolutely.
State and
I
the
didn't
government,
realize
I mean,
that
they
it
know
had to
we
be
had to
run
get our
through the
union to bargain
union.
for it.
This is something that wouldn't even be in our contract, the pandemic.
Right, exactly.
Correct,
Yeah.
but they add things as they go along, but we can't, we're supposed to bargain with whoever the designee is.
If you want,
do-
we have a legal opinion on this from our council, and we'd be glad to have Director Cronin, because you have that lady's name.
Yeah.
Just gonna get it? Okay, just maybe, all
Right.
right, if you want that proper, Mr. Chairman,
Sure,
share her.
I'll give her anything we have.
I mean, this
I
way,
appreciate
that
that.
we understand, it's always better to be transparent, understand why we're doing it.
Right, so that was reached
Understand our
after.
reason. You got our council telling us certain things, supposed to be guided by them too, that's
Yeah,
all.
so
you know?
that was decided after Register O'Donnell came forward the first time in 2000?
Yes,
Okay.
okay,
Right.
fair enough. Takes time, but wheels of government turn slow at times. Take care,
All right,
nice to
thanks
see
a
you.
lot, ladies.
Keep up the good work, huh? All right, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Number 6, appointments, I have none. We have none. Number 7, old business, Director Cronin.
None, sir.
Anything in old business? No.
I don't have anything. Number 8, personnel matters for consideration. We have 2 at the Registry of Deeds.
Right. Mr. Chairman, through you, with your permission, a notice of intermittent
Family Leave
FMLA.
Act.
What is that?
That's Family Medical Leave Act.
Oh, okay, thank you. For Noel DeBona
Mhm.
of Quincy, as Director of Administrative Services at the rate stated effective January 31. So moved.
Motion made, and I will second it for intermittent family leave act for Noel DeBonner of Quincy as Director of Administrative Services, effective
Uh,
1/31/22 at the Registry of Deeds. All in favor?
Aye.
Next one.
We have an important one, a notice of
Right.
retirement for our friend Alicia Gardner of Quincy, Mass. As Director of Support Services. This will be effective February 4th, 22. So,
I'll second it, and comments, this is retirement of Alicia Gardner, long time employee at the registry. She does a great job. Prior to working at the registry, she worked in the State House doing similar work, I think in the State Senate, and we've all known and worked with Alicia for a long time, and I've known for about a year that she was thinking of packing it in, but I guess this is official now.
yeah,
We wish Alicia well.
I'm
So,
sure. Well,
all in
congratulations.
favor of
Yes.
accepting the retirement of Alicia Gardner, all
Aye.
in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Do you know how many years she worked, Mr. Chairman? Any idea?
It's in the 20s, but it's not 32,
Not
but
30.
it could be 25 or 6.
Yeah. Good person. That's a big Big
Yeah,
step.
I mean, I worked with her in the city. She was on the council.
Did you work with her when you were at the registry years
No.
ago?
No, she was, she
Okay.
worked,
All right. That's good though.
she worked in the Senate when Marcy was the senator, so
Oh,
we're
okay.
talking, and then came here.
Okay. Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
If I say 25, it's 28. If I say 20, it's
Yeah.
25.
Yeah,
I don't think it's 32.
Yeah. It's not good. Well, wish her well.
Yeah, Alicia's.
All right. I have the warrant list, Mr. Chairman.
Mhm.
I'll move the following. The payroll for the county of 22-31, in the amount of $133,817.97. So moved.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
It is a vote. Next.
Second one, Mr. Chairman, we have, very pleased to announce all of this to the town of Milton Opera grant for 22, on the warrant 22-31. And the opera grant will be going to Milton in the amount of $218,104.25. So moved.
Okay, I'm going to second that, and this is the second or third opera
It's the
grant
third
that
one.
we've done with the town of Milton.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think they were the first.
Wellesley was.
Wellesley was first.
Wellesley was first, I'm sorry. So they were here early on, and we're happy to do this. This grant is for radios in the fire department, is that correct?
Right, I saw that. I read it.
Got it, that's a good, certainly a good and allowable use,
Yeah,
and they do a great job in Milton, so all in favor?
aye.
Aye, and we want to say congratulations, and did you mail the check, John?
This will be wired to
Okay.
Milton. They'll be receiving it tomorrow. Did you state the amount, Commissioner?
I did,
Okay.
$218,104.25. I did. Last one, you're welcome. Expense for the county, it's on February 1st. Well, I better not do that. It's 02-01-02. And the expense of the county is in the amount of $600,253.59. So moved.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
It is a vote. Now, since we just did the opera warrant and it's
Yeah.
separate on the thing, should we do it separate, just,
No, it's fine. It's on the warrant.
it's on the warrant,
Yeah.
okay, but we made note, if you want to say any more about this opera award to the town, now's the time.
I could, if you would.
Sure.
Just a few minutes, because we have a bid open
Yeah.
at 1:30, I don't know, but not to waste time, but
No.
I know, I read the material you provided us, and it looked like the first time they weren't given it, and then the second time they were, and I was trying to discern for my own benefit, what was the reasoning? There was a certain kind of, it had to do with fire department, I know that, and it had to do with the type of use, I guess, but what's the difference? It looks like the same thing almost.
It's the way that the radios are intended to be used. They originally applied under economic support,
Okay,
but the radios are actually being used to assist firefighters on calls so they can alert oncoming first responders if there's a COVID positive case in the environment. So it links more closely, Commissioner, with the public health initiative.
Okay, there you go. Okay. That's what I was trying to pick up on. Good, good. Okay,
I might add that Milton is making lots of changes in their fire department. They're building 2 new fire stations at the same time.
where's this?
Milton,
Milton, wow.
and it's It's been a lot in the news because I read the Milton paper, but it's in the Patriot Ledger, and they've made a big change. Their station, actually, they may even be looking at 3, but they're doing 2 right now. One is up on Route 138 near Curry College, and the other one is right in East Milton Square. And
Mm,
if you know where the old station is in East Milton Square, it's at the confluence there of
yeah,
where Adams meets Granite. And it's really an old design, and it's very difficult to get through that bottleneck at East Milton Square.
Hmm.
So the town in its wisdom has bought some land over by St. Agatha's Church,
yeah,
over in the back when you go around, still in East Milton,
yeah,
but where you get off the highway there at Granite Ave,
yeah.
and it's gonna get much more access. It's gonna be a much more modern station.
So it's kind of like the funeral home back up there, right? Is it a
It's
funeral?
more where the St. Agatha's School is, in the backyard of where the priest's house is,
Okay.
right where the rectory
That's
is.
that.
Still on Adams Street, but it gives them better access to East Milton, better access to the expressway.
Where's the one on 138?
The one on 38 is at the corner, I think it's Bradley Road and 138 near the entrance to Curry College. It's an older looking building, and they're gonna make a new thing there. So
They may be.
I'm sure these new radios will help,
Yeah,
but anything we can do for Milton, we
Yeah,
want to do.
That's great. That's fantastic. Okay, I have the blues here.
Okay, we're gonna sign those blue orders.
Yep, these are 2 for the retirement and for the family leave.
Okay, I have a note here that Alicia's been in the county since 2007,
Wonderful.
so
Oh. Hey. What's that, 2007?
15, 16
Oh.
years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then I know she was at the state senate before that, if not somewhere else. Next item, moving right along, is a 130 bid opening, which we have none, so we can go by that.
Can we go by that?
Yes,
Yeah,
because
okay.
we have none.
All right.
Contract awards. We have none today.
Hmm.
Next is county director's update.
That'll be the county IT director update.
Oh,
Mr.
sorry.
Chairman, Mark McDonald will be coming in. He's prepared a brief one-page update on various projects and initiatives that he's been working on. Maybe each of you have it in your packet.
I'm sorry, County IT director.
Yeah.
Okay, Mark, we're a little quick today, Mark. Are you ready? If not, we can go by and come back to you.
I'm ready.
Okay. Go ahead, Mark. The
Afternoon.
floor is yours. This is our IT director, Mark McDonald.
Thank you. I just want to give an update on the projects that we're currently working on and the status of those projects. So the first one is part of the Abraham's report, the migration from our in-house Infinite Vision software program to the cloud. And where we are with that currently is that all of our data that we had on our servers here from the last 19 years has been transferred over to the cloud at the Tyler and AWS cloud that supports this software. We also have several users from the county commissioner's office, the treasurer's office, the Aggie and the registry are currently testing out the new cloud software to just get familiar with it, see if there's anything in there that they don't like that we need to address. And let's see. So we plan to go live with this within the month based on the testing that's being done and the smoothness of it. And this does not change at all what people are currently doing. Everything is going to look exactly the same when they're in the software. It's just all the data is no longer going to be stored locally. It's going to be on the cloud, backed up daily, supported by the support staff at Tyler. And, it's going to be stored in multiple places so that if there ever is an issue, we will have backup of it. So it's a much more secure environment than having it stored locally. Second project that I'm working on is the Microsoft Office 365 upgrade. The software has been installed on all users PCs here in the commissioners, treasurers, maintenance, and engineering department. They're all currently using it. We're in the process actually this week of transferring over all of the email from our current email system to the Microsoft Cloud email offering. Again, that's going to offer us security for those emails, and it also is going to allow us to do things that we haven't been able to do before, such as link our calendars and our email to our phones so that we'll have access to that 24/7. Let's see, where else?
You ready?
And so, yes, so the security, the next item, the security has been completed. The installation of everything is done here. I've been taking photos of everyone today to give them their ID access badges. I've loaded all the users into the system. We have got schedules of times that the alarms will come on and turn off, when the doors will open and close automatically. And we've got it set up in zones so that people won't have access to areas that they're not supposed to, and will have access to areas they need to get to.
Do we get badges too?
Yes, I took Commissioner Shay's
Yeah,
photo
picture
earlier.
taken.
I'll get you after.
I wore a
And-
sport coat. I didn't know.
As soon as we get those badges
Yeah.
completed, then, and this I expect to be done next week, we will have the elevator company that we use to work on our elevators here, and the alarm company. They need to be here at the same time to bring this live in order for the state inspector's approval. So
Great.
we expect this to be up and running next week.
So next Wednesday, you're saying, if everything goes right, we'll
If
need the
everything-
badge to get in? The badge
You,
will
you
be-
won't, because what will happen is the doors will open automatically
Okay.
during business hours.
Open business hours.
So
Okay.
it won't be any different
Okay,
for accessing the building. It's for after hours,
okay.
before hours, that type of thing that the badges will be needed initially. I think.
And that
Sean-
records who comes and goes out.
Right, we've got video camera
Okay.
Great.
on the
fine.
front, the side, the back, and in the lobby. So
That's the way we used to have.
we
it.
have eyes. on
Yeah,
it.
anything we can do is good. I
That's
mean, I
great.
know we've had a problem, but who wants one?
Mhm.
I think it's a great idea. And then once in a while, we're here at night, but if we're here at night, we're here at night. I mean, it allows for that.
Yes.
I'd like to see that expanded to other buildings when we get time.
Oh, yeah.
You know, when we
absolutely.
can, but That's great. That's great news.
The next item is we're currently starting a cybersecurity training awareness program being offered by the state. It's a no-cost to us endeavor. It started this week with a assessment that was sent out to all users of county administration. Again, the treasurers, the engineering, maintenance, and the Aggie school all taking part. And they were sent out an assessment test so that the training company can get an idea of where we are with our cybersecurity awareness. This will be a year-long training. They will be given assessments, and there will be, little studies on, phishing and spyware, and just trying to get people's knowledge of cybersecurity increased, and their awareness of things that can potentially happen through email heightened. I think it will be a big benefit to us in protecting our network and the data within the county.
And this is a state
This
update,
is,
a state program,
yes,
and this is sent to everyone?
this is offered, well, we had to apply to get approved to
Oh,
be in
okay.
this program.
So
So we were able to, because we're county, we fall into the category that they would allow. And we asked we asked the Aggie if they wanted to partake as well, and they gladly jumped aboard.
What about the registry of deeds? Do they take part in this?
They opted out.
They were made available, aware of this stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
And let's see, finally, just upgrade of the county servers. This was planned. We ordered the servers late August, I believe, early September. Due to COVID, they've been sitting on a ship somewhere for quite some time. I've been assured that we should have them in the building within a week and a half. At that point, we've got one here already in the engineering department. When the other two come in, then we will swap them out. And this is just part of the IT department's 5-year strategy on renewing equipment. And that's all I've got. Any questions?
Any questions for Mark, Commissioner?
Yeah, I do have one.
Sure.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So it always puzzles me and amuses me when you say things are being sent to the cloud. There's a great line, Rocky was it Creed, the first movie, when he goes with the cloud. I still don't get that whole thing, but neither here nor there. I noticed what you said here was transferred to the Tyler cloud.
Correct.
So am I understanding correctly that now there's different names for clouds for different platforms? And is that what's happening here?
They're teaming up with Amazon's cloud for
Okay.
their data storage. So
Okay.
it's kind of a combination of it. They have 2 data centers that are just buildings with servers and storage.
Got it.
And so all of their stuff is there.
Mhm.
All of our stuff is there.
Mhm.
And then it is being backed up daily to the Amazon cloud. So it's actually stored in 2 places.
Why is it
for
called a
everyone.
Tyler cloud? I'm just curious. Why is it called McDonald cloud?
Well,
Stady cloud.
because, well, they created it to go
Oh, okay.
along with
Okay.
their software offering
Okay. This is math. Fascinating.
specifically. Yeah.
Fascinating. Yeah. I know my son's on my case. He's saying, Dad, back everything up to the cloud. Get the data thing. I'm running out of data. He goes, you don't need that. Just put it on the cloud. I
That's
go,
right.
cloud.
That's
Yeah.
Well, just to kind of double down on that, Mark made a concerted effort to initially go with the Amazon Web Service product. That's one of the high gold standards for security of data currently in play. This particular solution eliminates a lot of hardware issues, facility malfunctions, power surges, water events,
Wow.
things that can destroy a rack and a hardware that had been traditionally stored on site. In a few years, you won't see racks and servers on site anymore. Everything will be remote because, as Mark indicated, the storage of the data is now in facilities that are temperature, humidity controlled, have all the proper facility hardening to ensure security is the highest priority. AWS gets great reviews for their integrity.
Mhm.
So it's the best we can offer right now on the market. And Mark deserves credit for really isolating that and identifying it early on as a
Good
solution.
afternoon, this is Chris. May I help you? One,
Who's that?
That's great.
I'll take care of
why?
it.
That's a very good question. I
Oh.
ask it.
Chris Cole. Not on you.
Okay.
Well,
He's on you.
very good. Excellent.
Hey,
Okay.
Robert.
Thank you, Mark.
Okay, good.
And I'll see you after the meeting, I guess.
Yes.
Okay, very good.
Pictures
Thank you, Mark.
after the
Thank you.
meeting.
Thank you.
Number 14, report on the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021. Director Cronin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a couple of major events. So yesterday, Norfolk County participated with 3 other counties on our now every other week meeting to share information on the developments of our shared experience rolling out our respective grants. I think I mentioned before, Norfolk County is sort of in the forefront of grant activity. So we were explaining to our peers in Barnstable, Bristol, and in Plymouth, our thoughts on the revenue loss experience, some of the concerns about applications, things of that nature. Mr. O'Brien, Treasurer O'Brien, was very vocal. He had a lot to say about coordinating their work with his stakeholders in Plymouth. It was a very vibrant discussion. What we did learn was our peers in Barnstable appear to be kind of stuck in a no man's land of policy development. It's a different county. It is run by a legislative board. I can't remember the name of it, Joe. You remember the name of the board down in Barnstable, the
Commission.
House of Delegates, they have
House
a
of
different
Delegates,
yeah,
charter than
yeah.
we do, and every town has one person who
Yeah,
weighs in on all items.
but they have commissioners.
Oh,
too.
sure.
Yeah,
that's.
But it's got to go through the House of Delegates and then the commission,
right, right.
some say.
Commissioners would be more the executive branch, the legislative would be the delegates, and so they're working out who will control and make decisions on the disbursement of the Barnstable County funds. They've done some public surveys, they're working towards an end, but it's slow getting there. One of the things that you'll likely see in your calendars coming up, I believe March 30th is targeted for the next multi-county commissioners meeting. I believe the last one we had was here at the agricultural school last fall. Barnstable has offered to host, and it might be a chance to bring the commissioners from Bristol, Barnstable, Plymouth, and Norfolk together to discuss the latest on the grant, on the ARPA grant at that
What was the
point.
date, John?
They're targeting March 30th. So if you
Great.
want to pencil that in or save the date,
Yep,
it is a Wednesday, so we would look to probably do a meeting down in the Upper Cape area. But the point again was to bring the shared experience of you all to the Barnstable County stakeholders to express them how things are working, what's going right, what's not, and so forth. We awarded today the latest grant award to Milton. I want to let you know we've had 24 applications total in the portal. You've made 7 awards with this Milton Award, and you've now awarded over $2 million. So we're making good progress on that. Last night, I sent out a memo to all the communities in Norfolk County, alerting them of your decisions to increase the available allotment percentage for grants from 25 to 50%. And also last week to assign the revenue loss calculations to the Norfolk counties based on a prorated weight of the 2015 population. That information and the associated spreadsheet that I showed you last week went out. We've had one question this morning, but generally, I think people understand the situation we're in, and we'll work with them over the next several months to try to achieve flexible use of that category. That's all I have under the American Rescue Plan Act, Mr. Chairman.
have you
Okay.
had
Any questions?
Yes, sir, if I may. Have you had any contact with the town of Randolph or Stoughton?
We received an email from Randolph yesterday that they have completed a community survey, and the survey was going to drive their community strategy on the use of ARPA funds. So it was really a message, a general message. I'll be happy to share that with you if you'd like to see it, but no personal contact, nor from Stoughton.
So would you have time, maybe next week, we could set something up, I can talk to you, because I got calls from both those representatives that they're having a little trouble, and they may, I was led to believe that you might be reaching out to them. I thought, maybe I was misinformed, but it's been more proactive, so we can work that.
I'd be happy to.
Okay, great,
Absolutely.
okay. And the manager in Randolph is Mr. Howard, I can't think of his first name.
Brian Howard.
Brian Howard, thank you.
I can confirm every county in Norfolk now has all of their credentials in line
Okay,
to use the portal.
okay, good.
That
Okay,
is
That's good.
confirmed.
very good,
But
thank
sure,
you.
I'd be happy to do that.
All right, thank
I
you.
think it's a great idea to make sure that they have any questions that they might have answered.
I have no others today. How about number 15, report on COVID-19 response?
Nothing new, Mr. Chairman, other than testing kits have become more widely available. The county still has a small number available. I mentioned last week, we dispersed a fair share of our storage over to the registry, but if anybody needs them, as an employee of Norfolk County, we'll ship them out to them. But that is all I have at this point.
Are we as a county getting mass shields? I know they're supposed to be mailing them out to us as people, but as a county, we're gonna get some?
I don't believe so.
No, we have surgical masks that are
We do.
made available.
Okay.
Were purchased.
Okay. Thank you.
Report of the county directors now.
Mr. Chairman, regarding our budget schedule, all budgets are due from the departments this week from this Friday on February 11th. The commissioners will begin seeing their first budget presentation thereafter on February 23rd. That will be the maintenance department.
Oh, okay.
And as a reminder, the commissioners, Commissioner Shea has his own, commissioners will be encouraged to utilize the Abraham's Group recommendation cheat sheet to go along with any recommendations that are coming in from the departments. Tomorrow morning, we are scheduled to receive the Ripples Group. This is the technology assessment contract that was awarded to oversee the work involving the commissioner's office and the registry's office. I had an occasion to speak with the principal involved. His name is Tom Innes. He'll be bringing staff tomorrow morning, and I've sent out an invitation. I actually spoke with the registrar last Friday, cordially invited him and his stakeholders to attend. He mentioned something about he wanted to, and he might have to jump out because I think he had to go to Quincy at 10 or something. But nevertheless, his technology staff, subject matter experts are welcome to attend. We'll do an onboarding, or I should say an entry meeting with them so that we can discuss the goals and scope of the work. And then following that, do a walkthrough of the various technology spaces that is underway. Friday morning at 9 o'clock, we'll be meeting with the financial services vendor. We contracted with the Abrahams Group. At Abrahams will probably be the main point of contact as we seek his services, the Abrahams Group services, to develop a bridge between the Excel spreadsheets that are being used to generate salary projections and the input into the shell within Budget Sense. So that'll be this Friday at 9 a.m. here in this office. Commissioner Shea and Commissioner Stady, through you, I wanted to pay my compliments to John McGowan and his staff regarding snow removal this past weekend.
I did a great job. I had occasion to be in Quincy Center to retrieve my car, which I put away during the storm. I put it in the municipal garage. And that way I could get access to my own driveway on Saturday. And then Sunday I went back to get it. And at the time I was back, I noticed a terrific amount of activity going on at the district court. So I went over and watched them remove all the snow. And believe me, although the court was open by Monday, certainly it could have been open on Sunday if that was necessary, because it was a full crew aboard there, both our people and the outside contractor.
That's
It
great.
actually removes in a heavy storm like that. Actually takes the snow right away. Because of, in an urban area, there's no place to put it. So they were, this is 10 a.m. and they were mostly done. And so Monday was, clean opening and everything. So, and I noticed when I came to Dedham today, the same thing goes on here. So that's good.
And Norfolk County, I believe, hit the jackpot in
Yep.
terms of total accumulated.
Stoughton was the most snow,
Yeah.
but we're all right there.
Don't, believe me, we're pretty close to it.
I know.
Not the same. We got
Quincy had
buried.
a lot too, but they
Yeah,
claim
very.
Stoughton had the most snow of anywhere.
So
Over 30 inches, right?
if you'd like to make a motion to ensure that all future snowstorms occur on Saturdays, that will be welcome.
Well, no
It worked out
question,
the
no,
best.
It worked out perfect.
It did.
no
It
question
did.
that helps because there's less people on the road.
Yeah.
But
So people trying to talk about the great blizzards and all that, and I say, the difference there is that took place during a work week. This was a weekend.
and people had left, it couldn't
And-
get,
And then you had Sunday to do the cleanup. I was surprised at the number of schools that were open actually on Monday. And it shows you again the quality of the work in terms of getting sidewalks ready, schools opened up. They did a good job,
I noticed last night, Monday night, watching the channel news, this Channel 5, they talked about Stoughton specifically. The town manager was on, the young lady there, and
Right.
they mentioned that with all they had, they were able to, their schools were open on Monday also. It's good,
Pretty good. Very nice.
very, very good.
Good job by John and his crew.
Yeah.
Good now.
They
Yeah,
always-
we were in contact
Yeah.
Sunday morning into Sunday afternoon. His team did a great job in short order, and I want to thank them very
Well,
much.
kudos to our maintenance staff. That's good.
Just a reminder, the trustees of the agricultural school will be meeting here next Wednesday at 2:30.
Right.
Just in terms of planning ahead, Mark drew attention to the fact that staff who've been opted into the cybersecurity awareness training are advised to complete that initial assessment phase by February 4th, this Friday, to ensure that they become part and parcel of the program going forward. This is the initial phase of assessment. Just a reminder, we will be looking at the end of March for a 4-county meeting for ARPA. And that is all I have this afternoon for you, Mr. Chairman.
Go back to budget if I can.
Sure.
It's coming up. They'll be dominating us for a while. So we know we have the Abraham report, which we know what to use. We're going to use it now as our, as our guide, if you will, part of our tool.
Hopefully.
Yeah, moving forward. Do we also, or have we also communicated to our various department heads a certain percentage increase that they cannot exceed? In some towns they say, well, and some towns they say you can't exceed 2%, or your base can't go up more than because of the constraints of Prop 2.5. Have we instituted something like that?
We have not. I actually have seen it done that way as well. It seems more common to do it that way as a guideline. But departments were notified that back on January 3rd that they were preparing basically a maintenance budget, not to expect any expansion or new spending. If they had such a need for an additional hire, a new program, or things beyond maintenance, they would have to articulate that in a cover memo and be our choice to look into that. But basically, I'm expecting a maintenance budget, which just keeps the status quo of our operations going.
Right. And the other thing too, just to follow up, is that if you follow some of the news from Registrar O'Donnell, it seems like the registry receipts are ticking down a little bit. Now, I know it's early, but we may not have as a generous year this year moving forward as we did last year.
I did notice that receipts are down.
So that could be something we factor in. But again, I didn't know if we wanted to come up with a number or just kind of go with the plan and just go for that.
Right. The revenue that I'm aware of in FY 21, year end 21, was an historic gain above benchmark. And so I've watched the revenue coming in from the registry, and it's been decent compared to last year, which was the high water mark. So I'm very comfortable telling you or expressing that we are meeting our revenue benchmark to meet expenditures in FY 22. I do expect as we close FY 22 that we'll have a clear idea of what the surplus might look like. And that would be any funds above that benchmark. But I agree with you, Commissioner. It's hard to imagine that the revenues that were collected in FY 21 would be a new norm. It was just a high watermark given all of the complexities of the borrowing market, interest rates, refinances, people being home during COVID, doing work on their homes and so forth. It was a time that I don't think we'll see again. But modestly speaking, I think the revenues look decent, and I don't expect any major changes. We'll alert, because one of the things I got to talk to Joe about is having a look at the next trial balance. That'll give us an idea of how things are trending after the new year.
Because that's the end of the month. We'll be getting that soon, right?
That's right.
Right. One more question, if I could, real quick. Any more on DCAM and the appraisal and that kind of process?
No, thank you for mentioning that. I did have a meeting last week with the trial court staff on the overall conditions of the facilities. We did touch on DCAM's work. I'm waiting to hear from Heidi on scheduling a conference Zoom call to have the state express to us what their legal timeframes are for acquisition of a property. And when that meeting is conducted, I will express to them what our similar legal boundaries are for disposition of county property. We both were ruminating about what we knew, but it's clear we're going to be driven by that process. So I have a quote from the appraiser, and the question is, when do we want to initiate that? We'll talk about that when she schedules that meeting.
Okay. That was all I had, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
Good.
I have a couple of other items here under number 17, topics the chair did not reasonably anticipate. One is, you'll notice in your packet, we have a January, February 2022 newsletter from Robert and the team in at RSVP. As usual, it's well done, and it highlights the annual holiday drive for active military families, which was, I couldn't help but notice all over the office for several months. They do a great job of gathering it up, and I think a week ago they sent it out through a group that delivers it through the Cape. So there's some good pictures here and other interesting items. So a shout out to Robert and his team.
They said it was a historic collection.
Biggest ever, yeah.
Fantastic
It's really-
job. Yeah.
It is great. on the line of budgets, we have a agricultural school budget subcommittee meeting on Friday. I think it's on Zoom.
It's on Google Meets, but same idea. It's on Google Meet, but it's the same idea. It's a remote.
Remote,
Thing.
okay.
You'll have a link. You just click. on it.
Okay, I'll be there.
It should be
And,
just as easy.
I did get from John, who's here, a preliminary budget, for the committee's eyes only at this stage, and we'll have more to follow on that after this week, I think. And we're on next week. A
So the
regular
meeting,
and-
trustee meetings here following our regular meeting, right?
Correct.
So, okay,
And I've been told that the report will be out on the budget, on the vendor we hired for this, to check the tuition and to
oh, good,
give us
excellent.
some recommendation.
Oh, good, I was gonna ask you about that. I don't Aggie business, but I was gonna ask you about that. Good,
Okay. well,
good, that's great. That's great.
I think I can put my hand on it after Friday or today. I don't know if
Good.
it's here.
Good.
It's
I-
coming. I don't
Yeah,
want to give
it's
it away.
finished. John was asking it to be put on letterhead. His first one was on letterhead. John and I asked him to clarify some
Okay.
things. They
I
sent
haven't
it
seen
back,
it yet, but I
was
know
on
it's coming.
letterhead. So John said, "Can you just put it?"
But you can't, I know this is Aggie, but it's still commissioner business too.
Come
We
here.
we can't build that recommendation into the budget, can we? Or can we? Are we gonna be, say that whatever it comes back, say it comes back and says,
We can
raise
do
it
this in
a certain amount, whatever it might be.
Let's take a vote at some point. And
Right, but you're bringing your budget in, aren't you, next? Oh, no, you're not. No, your budget's not for a couple of weeks, right? Their budget. They're not coming before us.
They're not
for a lot of
doing,
weeks.
we have
No.
a date for
Yeah,
them.
I'm sorry, you have budget
This is
subcommittee.
within
Budget
our
subcommittee.
budget, that's
Okay,
right,
I'm
yeah,
sorry,
budget
okay.
subcommittee.
Right, but I mean, that might be good news then. That they can build that into the budget. Okay,
The conclusions from his study are going to be reflected.
that was the goal. Okay, good, good,
Yeah.
good.
That was why we had the
good.
timing that we did on that.
Okay, I'll help.
You'll
That's
see
good.
the schools on March 2nd.
That's right. Okay, you're right.
I mean,
That's right.
ideally speaking, there isn't much that isn't intertwined with the budget. I mean, this is a budget driven. And we're in the budget season.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I just wanted to get on the record that we're having a meeting. Friday.
That's good.
And we'll get that out as soon as I get it, you'll get it. And probably be fully discussed at next week's meeting. I can't imagine it won't be on there.
Okay, good.
Chairman Little will be putting that on there, so. Okay, I have nothing else. If no one else has anything else,
I can make a motion, Mr. Chairman,
Sure.
to adjourn at 1:50.
motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much. We'll be here next week for a full meeting. That goes in there.